What's going on, beautiful people? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, Texas Senator Ted Cruz is under fire after sharing an article that highlighted just how financially devastating it is for many Americans to lose their unemployment benefits. Mr. Cruz commented by posting, get a job, right? And when I saw these comments from Mr. Cruz, they came across as incredibly tone deaf and insensitive considering how serious this matter is for millions of people across America. My response to Mr. Cruz is yes, get a job, but also those jobs need to pay livable wages. That's the problem. You see, it's easy for people like Mr. Cruz to sit on their high horse and point the finger at people and be like, get a job, get a job, get a job. Get off your lazy ass and get a job. Get off your ass and get a job, right? It's easy for him to say that. But the question is, will working at Pizza Hut and Walmart pay my bills the same way my job I had before COVID did? The answer to that is hell no. And a lot of people ain't gonna settle for that. And you can't blame them for doing so. After people that have been in school for 6 and 7 years getting all these degrees, collecting these degrees, a lot of people are not gonna go back to just go to take a retail job. It's not gonna happen, especially when they were making a great living beforehand, making a good living, but they got laid off and they were never called back to their former employers. They weren't called back. They're not gonna go in there. They're not gonna just take a job for $15, $16, $17 an hour just because they're hiring. This is not how it goes. And a lot of people are trying to shame people by saying y'all just don't want to work. Some people just don't want to work. They don't want to work. No, a lot of people just not gonna work for anything. That's the thing, right? And see me, look, I've seen a lot of people do everything they had to do to gain the American dream, right? I'm gonna put myself in this. I remember when I first got out of grad school. I had my master's degree at the age of 24. So when I came out of school, I thought that my youth and my education would be attractive in the job market. I'm applying all these different places, applying. I'm putting in all these applications, and nobody is calling me back at all. And I'm like, this is like, it took 3-4 months. I'm looking for a job. I'm not getting no callbacks to the things that I deem as like valuable, something that I feel like I am qualified for, right? I'm not going to just go and work at McDonald's and stuff coming out of grad school. I'm trying to get a good job to get livable wages, you know what I mean, to take care of myself and my child. So I'm not just going to take anything. And I remember just applying to jobs, and I couldn't get anything, you know what I mean? But by the grace of God, my employer now found me on Indeed and reached out to me, and that's how it happened. It wasn't even a job that I really applied for. You see what I'm saying? So those things occur. I know many people that have master's degrees, they work in retail jobs because they can't find a job, right? They can't find a job at all. And a lot of the jobs that they would want to work for, that their degree field says they can work in, they got all these experience requirements, all these high experience requirements, so they can't get hired at those jobs. And then they're overqualified to work at those other jobs that will be paying less. So they stuck in the middle and stuck in a wedge, right? But this is the thing, man. Even in today's climate with COVID going on, just because jobs are hiring does not mean they will hire you, right? So you can find a job that's really feasible, a job that's really like a job that you feel like, man, I can make a good living at this job. I got all the experience. I got the certain qualifications that need to be met, but they just not gonna hire you, right? And some of them are not gonna pay enough for you to survive. And that's the thing, man. These rich, lazy, because there's a lot of rich, lazy people in this world. And I know people like, oh, you can't be rich and be lazy. Bullshit. I know a lot of people that are rich and lazy. And a lot of people got it from their people just passing down money to them. And they luck their way into some stuff. And lazy as hell. It's a lot of rich, lazy citizens who want bottom feeders to work until we die for bare necessities while they live off the fat of the land and get fed handsomely. And that ain't right. That ain't right at all. Matter of fact, I think y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I remember something where I read something where Ted Cruz voted against raising minimum wage to $15 an hour. You know what I mean? So he can sit up here and say, get a job. But again, are those jobs going to pay livable wages, right? You're not paying people with multiple degrees $15 an hour after all that time and effort that school took. I'm sorry, it's not happening. I can't blame nobody for not wanting to settle for scraps when they were once in position to make money that was substantially more. Once again, I know there are people who have been taking advantage of unemployment severely, people that don't want to go out and get degrees, people that don't want to go better themselves, some people that just don't want to work at all and want to sit back at home and so on and so forth. But that's not the case for everybody. It's a lot of people that went to school and lost their jobs and they lost well-paying jobs, and they not just gonna take anything just to say they working, right? Just to make other people feel good. Yeah, I'm sweating and really, really going in there and working my ass off for this $14, $15 an hour. Hell no. That don't say, I don't care. Like, I'm not trying to impress people by making it seem just by taking a job so I can sweat real, real hard and get paid bottom of the barrel. Listen, I've been in jobs before. Like, I remember taking a job one time when I had degrees, for real. Taking a job because I just needed work, right? And this job was not paying me nowhere near what I was worth, like what I should have been paid. Seriously, not what my degree said at all, right? So I took the job, and when I get on this job, y'all, like, I'm in here and they working the hell out of me, working me to the ground. And then trying to add more stuff into my, more job duties that were not in my job description when I first applied for this job. They trying to give me more duties than that without paying me more money. They trying to get you to do more without paying you more, which is basically trying to get you to be cheap labor. That's some bullshit. Ain't nobody gonna be dealing with that, man. Like, nobody gonna settle for $15 an hour, and you can't blame them when they were used to making substantially more. Furthermore, they're not gonna settle for $15 an hour just to get a job when unemployment is paying them close to what they were making before, or even more than that. Like, it just don't make sense, man. Ain't nobody out here just trying to impress folks and say, look at me, I'm working hard, I'm sweating, and I'm out here working a slave shift, and out here slaving and working my ass off, and I'm getting paid pennies. And then they're trying to add more duties to your job description without paying you more. Like, ain't nobody doing that, man. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And then you have some people out here who have a child, right? And they have to pay for childcare. They have to pay for childcare while working at these low-paying jobs. And a whole paycheck going to childcare further pushes poverty. It further pushes poverty. Now, I know people are going to say, well, it's your job to take care of your child. You had that baby. You got to take care of that baby, and so on and so forth. That is true, right? But nonetheless, in American society, look, people have children. You know what I mean? And people were coming from jobs that were making good money. They can't get back to their job. They got to pay for their children for child care and all of that. If you telling me right now, right? Because I went through it. I was a person that was laid off at one point, right, from my employer. I was laid off, but then I went back, and by the grace of God, I was brought back to my employer, right? However, I was a person that was unemployed for about 6 months, right? And I remember them people saying, oh, you can work this job for $16 and $17 an hour when I was making substantially more than that. I'm like, no, sir, why would I do that? I can get my unemployment that I worked hard to get. I worked my ass off to get this unemployment, firmly work my ass off all the time to get that unemployment. I'm going to sit at home and get my unemployment because I'm going to make more on unemployment than taking that $16, $17 an hour. I'm not going to take that job just to make other people feel good about me. Look at me, man. I'm a man. I'm out here working and sweating, and I'm getting paid bullshit, and I'm barely able to come in here, take care of my bills, take care of my children. That's not going to happen. I don't give a damn what everybody else is thinking about me. Oh, he's sitting at home, and fuck that. I'm not coming in slaving for $15, $16 an hour when I worked a job, put in my sweat equity on a job, getting paid good money. So I'm going to sit at home and get the unemployment that I am owed, that I was rightfully owed, and get the money that I need to take care of my family, rather than worry about what some other people is thinking. Oh, I'm late. Or maybe they looking at me like I'm lazy if I'm sitting at home. Man, hell no. I'm not going to take the first job out there and get $15 an hour when instead of getting my unemployment that was paying me more than that, unemployment that I earned. Man, that's bullshit, man. It's easy for people to just say, go get a job, get a job, get a job. Oh, yes, a lot of vacancies out here, but these jobs out here, they're not paying people. A lot of them are paying people scraps. And if you're making $15, $16 an hour, this is no way to disparage you at all, right? I'm not trying to disparage anybody making $15 or $16 an hour, right? If that's what you're comfortable with, that's cool. But it's people that were making substantially more than that aren't going to settle for that, and I can't blame them for doing so. I cannot. When they have all these other things they have to pay for, you can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, furthermore, if people rather stay home because their benefits are more than their paycheck, that means the minimum wage is not a living wage. Seriously, man, like, I live in Chicago, Illinois. I know it's a lot of other big cities out here. You can't get by making $15 an hour in these big cities. It's not going to work. It's not going to be feasible. It's not going to be able to happen, man. So Pizza Hut and them hiring their ass off and all of that, that ain't gonna do nothing to really put food on your table for your babies or for you, or to keep the lights on, to keep all these basic necessities running and thriving, and keep a roof over your head. You know what I'm saying? For some people it could. They got roommates, or they living in a state where, you know, the cost of living is not that high. That's cool. But if you living in a state where cost of living is high, it's not gonna work. And people always say, well, why don't you just move? Like moving is cheap. Like people say the dumbest stuff in the world. Like moving from Chicago to Mississippi is like a cheap thing. Man, hell no. Stop. Like people say the dumbest stuff, man. It's crazy, man. And look, in these jobs, even now, like, right, even if you're operating in COVID, you're trying to find you a good job, it's a lot of these jobs, they got you need 7 years of experience, 2 degrees, and all of these certifications, and they still want to pay you $38,000, $40,000 a year, right? And then those same employers that I'm talking about offer some insurance with ridiculous copays and deductibles. Ridiculous, like super high, right? So don't judge overqualified people for not wanting scraps. It's not gonna happen, man. And furthermore, even people that's not overqualified, people want to make more money, man. They have a living. They have to fend for themselves and take care of themselves in society. So people want to work. They want to work. They want to go up and have somewhere to go every day and report to. Not everybody just want to sit at home and kick back and just not do nothing. And there's people out here that have the resume to prove that they did everything they had to do they did everything they had to do to attain the American dream. And when they get to that point, they can't find a job. Nobody wants to hire them. And these people out here, they got master's degrees. Some people got doctorates and can't find jobs working in retail because ain't nobody trying to they can't even get their application pulled when they file online. When they file an application online, they can't even get an application pulled. So you telling them, oh, because Subway hiring, I should just run the Subway? No, I'm not going to do that, man. The people are going to rightfully get the unemployment that they earned in order to to get a livable wage. And I can't fault people for that. Now, of course, people that were working in COVID, that was working out here, working on the front lines during COVID time, yeah, they should have got some increases in their pay without question. Because they was out here risking their lives working at these grocery stores so people can go out here and get all type of food and necessities for their households. So those people should have been paid more. Without question, they should have been paid more. I have no problem with that at all. But you're not going to make people feel bad about getting unemployment that they rightfully own. A lot of people rightfully they rightfully earned that unemployment. Right? Whether you feel like, they getting paid more than what they were getting or not, like, it's a pandemic going on, man. There's all type of stuff going on. People need to keep up with their rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this get a job, man. Working at Pizza Hut ain't gonna pay my rent. It ain't. And I can't just pack up and move and all that, you know what I'm saying? By the grace of God, I have my job. You know what I'm saying? But again, man, I remember just even being before COVID, being in a job market, having 2 degrees at 24 years old, and it being a struggle to get somebody to hire me when I got youth on my side. I got this experience. I did internships when I was in school, had all that on my resume, could speak well in front of a person. I can come and present myself properly. You know what I'm saying? I can dress well, and I didn't all of that. Dress have all the professional mannerisms and all of that you want, right? All the things that the employers want, and still could not get a job. So all that, it sound cool, but it's people that really got all the qualifications just ain't getting hired. So yeah, it's some people that don't want to get a job, that don't want to go to school, they don't want to get certain certifications, they want to chill and relax, and they want to take advantage of unemployment. That is a true thing. But there are also people out here who are really trying to do everything that they can to survive and get all the qualifications that they need. And guess what? Them jobs ain't calling them back. So they at a disadvantage, and they out here like, damn, like what am I gonna, like what you gonna do? It's not smart to go work at Subway just to make other Americans feel good. Look at me, I'm working hard, I'm not taking advantage of unemployment. And being there working for $13, $14 an hour like a dummy, like a stupid person, instead of collecting your unemployment and getting money to get a livable wage, to take care of your family. That's just not smart. Why would somebody go work at Subway for $15 an hour? Unemployment is paying them much more than that. You know what I'm saying? Where they're able to feed their family and take care of all their children's school needs properly. It don't make sense. And I'm not in the business. I don't believe no American should be in the business of making other Americans feel comfortable. Like, I want to make these people, I want to make other Americans feel good about, hey, look at me, man. I got off unemployment. I took my job and I'm here in this factory sweating my ass off day and night, taking time away from my kids to make a measly $15, $16 an hour. How the hell does that sound? Sounds mighty dumb to me. Sit at home and collect your unemployment. Sweating at them people factory. How you killing yourself, your back hurting, getting shin splits and some more. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't able to, you doing all of that and still ain't able to make a living with your family, man. As you hear my son in the background back there, right? I got that young boy to feed, my baby to feed, and I got my daughter to feed. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't finna, and I was only unemployed for 6 months. But I tell you one thing, I wasn't gonna work at no damn Pizza Hut. I wasn't gonna go work at the local Walmart for $17 an hour just to say I got a job. Hell no. I was working at a job where I had degrees and it was a good job, a great job, and I earned that and I worked hard on that job to get that wage. So I'm gonna sit at home and collect the unemployment that I earn and take care of my family. I'm not gonna worry about all these other people worrying about how it's looking at folks, all that bullshit. No. I'm going to get the unemployment I earn until I get me a job that pays me well, that pays me to take care of my babies and all of that. We can all live comfortably. That's what I'm going to do, collect that unemployment until then. So it's easy for people to be like, get a job, get a job, get a job, but ain't nobody getting no job. Ain't nobody getting, tell them MJ, ain't nobody getting no job that's just paying $15, $16 an hour just to say I'm working, look at me. I ain't here for no damn pats on the back from other people, from other Americans. Hell no. I'm in here to take care of myself, my family. Point blank, period. I'm not here to get pats on the backs of approval from other Americans and feel good about myself and all that bullshit. Hell no, man. It's easy for them people up there, them rich, lazy folks, they be out here pointing the fingers, and then because they want the people at the bottom to work until they die, work their ass off for them while they live off the fat of the land. I said that once again, man. The rich, lazy people, because there's a lot of rich, lazy people in this world that want the bottom feeders to work until they die for the bare minimum, and they get all the fat of the land. They want everybody, all of the people at the bottom, to work hard for scraps. And they get everything, and they sitting there smiling and patting the people at the bottom on the back, patting the poor on the back. Good job, good job. You're out here doing the work. You're out here really putting in hard work. People don't want to work, man. They getting paid 6 figures, smiling in your face. You getting $38,000. The fuck out of here. Get out of here, man. I'm talking to the people that's qualified. And I'm talking about the people. Even it's people out here that got degrees for real. Got degreed up, did everything they supposed to do. And just because you have degrees, that don't mean you the top of the line. But I'm saying they got all the qualifications. It's people that probably don't got degrees. They know a trade. They got all these different certifications, and people still ain't trying to hire them. So they ain't gonna just go work at the local fast food chain for a little measly salary, and you can't blame them for that. So yeah, it's jobs and vacancies open, but it's them vacancies, they ain't paying folks for real. A lot of them vacancies paying folks a little something. And some people like it's better than nothing. Yeah, it's better than nothing when unemployment runs out. But until that unemployment ran out, shit, people's gonna get that unemployment, and I can't blame them. You know what I'm saying? It's still all these different strands and variants of COVID coming out, and people still out here battling with this stuff. My daughter at school right now. I mean, she's in school right now, right? She's in school currently. And I don't know how long she's gonna be in school for real, because this, with all these different variants and all that stuff coming out, who's to say these schools won't get shut down again? All this stuff is going on in the world, and the prices of stuff are rising higher and higher, and pandemic, you know what I mean? All these different stuff. Like, come on, fam. Like, people got to get off their high horse and all that, man. All that, get a job. All that shit, that smart stuff, it sounds cool. It's easy for him to say. But I've been out here in the trenches with real American people, real folks that been out here. And I'm saying that people that rich ain't real American people. I've been out here with real folks for real. Real folks in the struggle. Real folks that really worked hard and got degrees and all that. My folks in the hood. My folks in the hoods of America. A lot of folks out here, they did all they had to do, did all the stuff they could. And it's a lot of kids like me that went to the same schools that I went to, got degrees and all of that, and still struggling to find work at times. You know what I'm saying? We're still struggling, still trying to figure out what they was going to do. It was hard times out here. And you got him out here saying that, man. Come on, man, get a job. Yeah, get a job, but them jobs need to pay people livable wages, man. Machiavelli Mills TV, like the video, leave your comments in the comment section, share the video, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm out. Peace.